Seniors, this is it. This is the final assignment, the last thing you guys have to do for my class, for finance class, and the last thing you need for Western credits, the last thing you'll need for graduation. So we are here. We have made it. This is the last thing. It's not going to be easy. Kind of been sitting here for like 10 minutes trying to figure out how I'm going to explain this to you guys. Actually thought about a bunch of different things that I could do as far as video tricks and stuff like that. But really what I want to do is I want to focus on having the stuff that's going to be the most helpful for you, to be able to get you from where you are to where you need to be. So as you guys were aware, this class, you have a bunch of standards that you have to hit for Western. There's actually 15 of them. Of those 15 different learning targets, really we're just looking for proof that you learned something. And that's what it is. And the thing is, proof can come in a lot of different forms. Proof doesn't have to be just an assignment or a test that you took, or something like that. Proof could be demonstrating that you know how to do something. If I was looking to prove to somebody that I know how to use a webcam on my laptop, this would be evidence that I know how to use a webcam. So I wouldn't necessarily have to take a test about it or do anything like that. So that's what always makes this assignment a little bit difficult, for students. I think for seniors, I think this is going to be okay because you guys have started to get used to a lot of this stuff. But that's really what I'm looking for out of this assignment, is for you to demonstrate to me that you know and understand whatever that concept happens to be. So you have some flexibility with this assignment, and that might be another one of the things that's really tricky about this, is that a lot of people tend to want me to tell them exactly what they have to do. And this assignment doesn't always lend itself to that. There's a little bit of your own interpretation of getting to that point. So as far as the structure goes, it's a little bit complicated to get it started. I think once you get it started, things will start to be pretty good, pretty easy for you. So let me share my screen with you, and we'll start to go from there. So there we go. All right. So this is my Google Sites page. I got here by just clicking on this and going down to Sites, making sure you're also logged in as you. Now, you guys have been working on sites for SEP. It's pretty easy stuff. If you come in here and you can't find yours, make sure you click on New Google Sites. Google's got this weird kind of thing where there's the old sites and the new sites, and they're kind of in two different places. This is what yours is going to look like: Senior Finance Final Project, with the girl with a nice smiling face on here. Now, how do you get this? Well, I don't want you to build your own. Don't build your own. I've done this for you. So that's the first part. If you go to Edmodo, within your individual class day, there should be a pinned post way at the top where it says Finance Final Portfolio. Now, this part's really important that you do this the correct way. If you click on this, this will take you into a Google Drive folder that I had set up. So the Finance Final template is in here. Don't open this. Do not open that. What you do is you do a two-finger click on your laptop to bring up these options and go to make a copy. What you're looking at here is my copy. You can't edit that. So even if you wanted to, if you go in there, it won't give you any options for editing if you just open it and go to it. However, if you make a copy of it, then you will have your own copy for which you can edit. You could do all that stuff and everything else that you like, that you want to do. So once you make a copy, also be a little bit patient, because once you go to make a copy, it takes like a solid 60 seconds to make that copy. So it's not real quick. So please don't get frustrated and say like, oh, my copy's not working. Give it a minute. It's going to be a little bit. Once you have that, then you can go over to your Google Sites. This thing should be in your Google Sites folder. If not, you can go into your Google Drive and it'll be probably the top thing under your most recent documents. When you open it, like I said, it takes a while. Plus, I'm working on rural internet out here, so don't even get me started on the internet. Okay, so this is what your final project is going to look like. So this part is fine. Leave this as it is. In this part, I'd like you to create a small biography that includes your name, your grade, your picture, and the most important thing that you learn in the class. Pretty simple stuff. Again, I'm just looking for you to fill in a little bit of content, give us an idea of who you are. If you click on this person, you can just change the picture out. Actually, I think if you double click on it, put in a picture of you. This is actually one of the things that I look for when I'm grading these to make sure that people understand and know what they're doing. So you have the ability to insert a link. I think there it is. Replace image. You can upload, select an image on your computer, do whatever you want to do. I would also highly recommend you keep this somewhat professional. Grad pictures would be fantastic. That would be great to be able to put this in here. As far as the biography and everything else, you can just load all of that into here. I've got everything kind of loaded for you, and you should be ready to go. Now, this is actually pretty nice because this works pretty well. However, here's the other parts, and this is something that people might miss a little bit of. If you go under pages on the editing screen, sorry, I got to move my face out of the way here. This is the home page that we're on right now. We've got 3 different pages of stuff that we have to do. So if you click on the other page, personal money management and loans, this is one of the 15 things that we needed to learn. Now, I've already filled this one out for you, sort of. You can adjust this and do with it as you like. Josie, I use your example in here for the good life, but the first standard that you guys needed to work on was exploring the importance of personal finance. So developing personal financial goals. We did this. In September, we had to answer the questions, what does a good life mean to you? We created a slideshow used pictures to represent what a good life means to us, as well as answering reflection questions at the end. And I put in the slideshow that Josie Hansen had used. When this page is live, you can actually like cycle through it, and I think you can do that, but I can't do it right now. So this would be a perfect example of explaining standard 1A. How do we develop personal financial goals? Well, you did this assignment where you developed personal financial goals. So pretty easy to be able to do that part. Now you're going to move on to 1B, illustrate the time value of money concepts. Time value of money is the concept that money is available at the present time is worth more than the identical sum in the future due to its potential earning capacity. So this was just a definition that I found and posted in here. So pretty simple, explains that I know what the time value of money concepts is. So for this first one, we used a slideshow from a previous example to explain it. The second one, I used text to be able to explain it. Now the third one, and what you guys will see all the way down here, is I posted the standard and then left a text box for you guys to put stuff in there. Now, you don't need to use the text box. If you have an assignment, if you have a picture, if you have another explanation that you would like to put in, by all means, switch it out, put something else in. In some cases, that might actually be easier for you. So as we get down to, step number 2, examine money management skills and budgeting. So identify the components of money management. Well, you're going to have to figure that out. How do we manage money? If you remember back, we've done so much stuff in this class from Dave Ramsey, from the BBCs, the cash flow statement. There is definitely a cash flow statement in your virtual business lesson. So the cash flow guy, actually, I didn't think of this before I was here, but let me at least look it up because I'm pretty sure that if we go to your person, this is riveting for the video. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Sorry, I was just about to put everybody's grades up on the screen. Did not do it though. So, no, that's the wrong class. See, this is the problem with doing a Zoom video, is that it doesn't give me the ability to edit this thing out at the end. So if I was doing like iMovie or something like that, I could take it out. All right. So the new career project. So this was something that I was working on. And if I go to reports, all these different statements Wealth, personal balance sheet. You guys had a personal balance sheet for your person. So this could be something that you could screenshot and put back into senior finance, components of money management, cash flow statement, balance sheet, personal budget, personal financial goals. You did all of this stuff with your VBC character. So if you want to explain that to me in text, you can. If you want to post pictures, if you do a picture, I would just say that try to put a little bit of an explanation that goes along with it. But you just need to tell me about these 5 things, how you did it. Same thing down here. Examine savings plans and payment accounts. Identify typical financial services. Well, I mean, typical financial services, if you just go to this and click on the bank, these are typical financial services that a bank has. ATM, apply for credit card, savings accounts, checking accounts. Like, we talked about this stuff. This is the proof that you guys know how to do these things. So we talked about various types of savings plans, payment methods, investigate consumer credit advantages, disadvantages, source and costs. So all of this stuff with credit. If you want to go back to the virtual business from first semester, and some of the lessons are a little bit more specific. You don't have to use just the final one either, but we did an entire lesson on protecting your credit rating and trying to fix your credit. We did an entire sim on that. That sim would be perfect for talking about this. So if you just want to tell me about it, or if you want to post a picture of it, that's entirely up to you. Managing your debts, the debt snowball with Dave Ramsey was something that we did. You guys can find screenshots of the Dave Ramsey video. Evaluate housing options. We did the budget project, in which you guys assessed your costs of benefits of renting, determine the cost of purchasing a home, the home buying process, home ownership, selling a home. All of those things we kind of did. Now, the process of selling a home is going to be a little bit different because we didn't do that. I gave some classroom examples of what it's like to sell a home, but that's something else that you guys can just add if you go into Zillow or talk about that. And some of the stuff, even if you don't get what it is, you can research it, read it, say I found an article on this thing. That shows that you know how to do the thing that we're just asking. You're just looking for proof that you know what all of these things are. So this is one page. This is the other page, personal investing. Oh, come on, personal investing. Explain the importance of setting up an investment program, ways to reduce risk. I mean, bonds, we did a part of bonds. Can you talk about stock? Explain stock trading techniques. We have the stock market game. That's right there for you. So all of these things, as far as creating retirement goals and retirement budget, we talked about retirement in class, and we had virtual business lessons. And then the final one is just personal insurance, tax, and estate planning. We didn't get to a lot of the estate planning. Oh, this is another example that I gave you guys as far as completing a federal tax return. Like, this is virtual business. We did this in class. So instead of, just talking about it, post a picture of it. So there's a couple of things that we were really, really hardcore on. There's a few things like health insurance. We had the speaker that came in that talked to us about all of those things. The last thing we're going to probably need you to do a little bit of looking up is estate planning, types of wills and trusts. But this is it, guys. This is the end of the year. Once you're done with this assignment and you are finished with everything, if you just hit publish, it's going to ask you to publish this site. You're probably going to want to put like your last name and finance in there, because if everybody calls it this name, obviously there's only one website for it. So that's going to be kind of tricky. But when you hit publish, then this thing is going to go live, and you're just going to send me the link. That's all it is. I just want the link. Turn it into Edmodo so I can go to it and I can kind of sift through this and show everything that you've done in here. This is all the stuff that you need. If you get this thing done, finish the class with a C or higher, then you get your 3 credits from Western. And so this is it. And I'm going to tell you guys that there isn't a really fast way to be able to do this, but with the time that we have left this year, if you start on it today, and it's funny, but if you knock off like one of these things each day, one of these numbers with the 5 things underneath it, you'll be done in 15 days. So if you wanted to, you could be done with this pretty much by the end of April, leaving you enough time for SEP presentations and everything else that you guys have to do. So it's not tough. It's going to be a little bit of a grind to be able to get some of this stuff done and be able to prove all of it, but it'll be worth it. All right, so once you're done with that, when you take it back to Edmodo, when you have the link, then you're just going to go in here and click on it, paste the link, and that's it. So I guess I could probably try to do some videos later on if you guys have any questions on how to do this stuff. I'm going to stop my screen share. So if you guys have any questions on how to do it, let me know, because we've gone over practically everything in there. We've done in an assignment already. And that's the thing, is there shouldn't be a lot of new content. The estate stuff we didn't quite get to, because that's something that I would have done at the end of the year. And I can probably post some videos about estate planning and talk about my personal experiences with that. I can do that in a couple of weeks probably. But aside from that, we've covered stuff. I think the real hard part is just going to remember back from September and October, the stuff that we did, you know, the budget project, Dave Ramsey, Enron video, the goal setting one that we did at the beginning of the year. I mean, all of that stuff matters, and the budget stuff that we did is going to be huge in this. If you want to just get screenshots, you just have to prove what you know and prove what you learned, and that's it. That'll be the end of it. So if you guys don't have any other questions, you know, send them to me over email or anything else. Check in with me during office hours too. Office hours are from 10 to noon on Tuesday and from 1 to 3 on Thursday. So please, please, please drop in on office hours if you guys have any questions. Even if you want to just check in on office hours, if you think you know what you're doing, just say, hey, Mr. Holter, does this look good? Let me know. I'm going to be here for office hours. So other than that, guys, good luck. Do this now. Don't wait. So you've got time now, and this is something that it would be great to have this thing kind of rolled up and finished and say we're done with senior finance by the end of April, because you've hit all the goals and all the stuff you needed to do at the end. All right, good luck everybody, and let me know if you need anything.